Okay, welcome back to the channel, guys. And it's also draw at Tottenham today, and man, so many things wrong with that game. There was so many things with that game that just pisses me off, really, when I think about it. Because it was a game where I thought that we should have won easily. Easily, we did create a lot of chances in that game, and we just had two shots on target, and those are the two goals we scored. But I think we should have scored a lot more goals today if we really, wanted to score. Tottenham went great defensively today. It's not like they put on a defensive masterclass. We could have scored a lot more goals with the quality we had on the pitch. So it's disappointing, honestly. Now I'll go into the positives and the negatives of this match. But I'll start with the negative because there's a lot. And I wanted to start with the lineup because when I woke up and I got ready for the game, the first thing I checked was the lineup when it came out. And I saw that we started with a lineup of Koan, Weman, Amad Diallo, which was very surprising because Amad Diallo coming in as a front three is a little bit off when you have a lot of players who could play in that position. And you know that Amad Diallo does play better when he plays as a wing back. But there was nothing wrong with it. When I looked at it, I said, yes, it's cool. But there's something I also thought about Zexi on the bench. Because I said, what is going through Zexi's mind right now? Because you are looking at your side and you're seeing Sesko. And I'm thinking Zexi's probably thinking he's not going to play. You already knew in that match that he was not going to play. Because if Amorim wanted to make an attacking sub, it was going to be Sesko before it. And when Sesko comes on, I don't think you're going to play. He's not going to have Sesko and Zexi on the pitch at the same time. So I felt for Zexi when I saw the lineup. That was the first thing I thought. I said, nah, something has to be done. This guy has to look at his future and say, is it that I leave? I have to go and play consistently. Because he's a very good player. He's a player who can add something to your team. He has the quality. He can play as an attacking midfielder if you want him to. He's very good on the ball. The only thing I think he's very bad at, he's not even really bad at it. He's not very good at positioning himself to score goals. But he's already said, I'm a 9.5, I'm not a 9. So I'm going to create chances. But he has scored goals too. I think he would score if you create chances for him. I remember the goal he had against Lyon in Europa League last season, the cross from Bruno and the header from Zex. So he would score if you create chances for him. There was just so many things. Now I want to go into Kuma because Kuma was another player today. I thought, bro, you have to do better. I've made videos about Kuma before where I thought he has to step up. See, he has to step up. He's a very good quality player and he can get goals and assists if you want. But he has this obsession where he just wants to hold on to the ball until he's being fouled. And then you have players like Mbemwan and Mad who are willing to make runs. And when these players make a run and you play a true ball, it's hard for any defender to catch up. Especially Mbemwan. Mbemwan made many brilliant runs today that Koan could have just played him through with just one single true pass. But he just decided to hold on to the ball. And I think he was very poor today. Koan is a player that he could get assists and goals consistently if he wants to. But why is he so obsessed with holding on to the ball every single time? It's not helping. You have to play with your teammate. You're not the only good player on the pitch. You have Mbemo and Amat who can score goals if you want. When I think about the game today, it just really pisses me off, honestly. Because I think it's a game we could have really, really won. Like easily won. And I think it has come to the point where, I was angry Amorim didn't make subs against Nottingham Forest. But at this point, I'm like, I think it's better we don't even make any subs because we look so much worse when we make subs. Anytime we go onto the bench and bring players in, we look, it's almost like it's a guarantee that we're going to concede a goal when we make subs. And it's not a good place to be because you're like, substitutes are in there because they're supposed to make an impact, especially when the players on the pitch are tired. Then you look to your subs and then you bring players who can help you finish the game. But then for Manchester United at this point, when you look at the subs and then you bring players on the bench, it's almost like, nah. Like I was like, when I saw Ugarte coming on, I just knew it that we were going to concede. And it was at fault for the goal. The first goal Tottenham scored, it was at fault. Because there is no way, 84th minute, a player just walks through the midfield. There were so many things you could have done before that player even got the ball. And even after he got the ball, was it Xavi Simons or Odegaard? Just walked past Ugarte. He was in the midfield. You could have brought him down, bro. Getting a yellow card is not going to hurt you. The game is already done. Why? Like, Ugarte is a player that just doesn't have, first of all, he doesn't have discipline. A lot of people are saying, he's a better DMF than Casemiro. Never. He's not even good enough to lace the left leg of Casemiro. He has no midfield intelligence. He doesn't know where to be in the midfield to stop attacks. He's a player that he just lets the ball decide. Now, talking about Sesko came on. I think he did very well when he had to hold up the ball. But then what's wrong with it? It's almost like he's as poor as in his finishing as Højlund was. The only thing he has more than Højlund is the fact that he can actually hold up play. But aside that, I think Højlund has to be a better finisher than Sesko because he has had so many opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net. It's almost like he's thinking too much. He doesn't know which foot he wants to use, to take the shot. I don't know if it's a left foot or a right foot. How about we just get clinical strikers? I think the scouting department the club has to go into the market and get some really experienced strikers. We need that in this club. We need that in this club right now. Someone where you can count on that when he gets the ball, he might not be involved in any play, but when he gets the ball in the box, he's going to score a goal. Højlund wasn't good in hold-up play, finishing was poor. Now we have a striker whose hold-up play is good enough, but finishing is still lacking. Still not good enough. And this is the kind of pressure that just makes these players crumble. In the next game, he doesn't perform. Before you know, he starts crumbling. Same thing happened to Højlund. Well, I guess it's a good thing because now Zexi finally is going to have some game time. Well, we still don't know that because Amorim is still going to want to try this experiment with Koa as a number 9. Koa has not had a good game anytime he plays as a number 9. He has not had a good game. He doesn't have a good game. The game against Liverpool, where he played as a number 9, he was not in that game until the second half, where he had to drop into the midfield. He started getting back in the game a little bit. He won the man of the match against Brighton, and that was when he played as a midfielder, one of the two tens. Anytime he plays as a striker, he doesn't play that. The coach has to stop the experiment. But I guess we're going to see more of it now that Sesko is injured. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I think Bruno also has to do better. He has to do better. I think whenever we get the lead, Bruno is always guilty of, wanting to put pressure on the team with making some really, really risky passes. I think when you score a goal, and Manu just doesn't have the midfielders to keep possession and just circulate the ball, distribute the ball. We have players like Casemiro and Bruno who always want to create. Anytime they have the ball, they want to create chances. So you have Bruno in the midfield. When you're one goal up, he's looking to play a true ball, a risky ball, and then you lose the ball, you're under pressure again. I feel like Tottenham should have scored a goal after we went ahead in that game. Tottenham had a chance to score a goal. I don't know, man. We have to do better. We have to do better. Another game where we could have gotten a win, we have to settle for a draw. I mean, this can't keep happening. Our next game is against Everton. I think there's another away game. I'm not sure if there's an away game, but you can see our away form is really, really bad. Really, really bad. After the Liverpool game was, I think we deserved the win, but it was lucky. Now we went to Nottingham Forest, we couldn't get a win. Tottenham again, we couldn't get it. When are we going to improve our away form. He has to get better if we want to compete for the title. Because I said it, we need to compete for the title. We are in a very good position to compete for the title. 1 game per week. I mean, what else do you want? We have the quality. We have good players in that squad to compete for the title. And you can't wait to keep dropping points like this in games where you are supposed to win. When I had in the game against Nottingham Forest, a draw. Went ahead in that game, started fighting for a draw. Went ahead in this game today again, had to settle for a draw. How? Why does it keep happening? It was going to a point where I'm like, you know what, Hammering has to just stop with the subs. Just leave the players on the pitch. I was mad that he didn't bring on any subs in the Nottingham Forest game. But now I'm starting to realize that, we're better off not making any subs because every time we make subs, it just looks like we just get worse. It looks like the players that are coming off the bench are not in the same rhythm with the players on the pitch. We just fall off completely. We have to do better, honestly. But anyways, we are off to the international break and next game is against Everton. We have to bounce back with a win on that one. Everton are not an easy side to play. They have good players now. But I think they lost in the match against Sunderland. He's a very good player. But we have to win that game too. Disappointing one. But at least we didn't lose. We didn't lose. Our unbeaten streak continues. But this doesn't win. I'm not okay with this kind of streak, honestly, because you drop points. This is two points out of possible 4. Out of possible 6. 2 points. If we had lost the game against Nottingham Forest and won this one, that's 3 points. So I don't understand this draw. I'd rather lose a game than draw, honestly. I will. I prefer to lose a game because I know if it will guarantee me the chance to win the next one, I'd rather lose this one because that's 3 points. Disappointing game. Really disappointing game. I like the energy from Mount when he came on, but aside that, none of the subs were good enough. None of the subs. I mean, Yoro was okay, but he should have done better to stop that cross into the box. When the lead was there, he was always aware of those crosses, and he always did well to stop it. But then Yoro came on, he did stop the cross from Doggy, and then tell how the ball and put it in the back of the net. The Leeds was one of our best players today, followed by Umpema and then Amad Diallo. I think these are the 3 players that really wants to win. The other ones, I don't know. I don't know what to say about them. And Bruno is the guy. I think he played a good game today. He created so many chances, but I have a problem with Bruno when we are on the front foot where we are ahead in the game. Bruno is guilty of just losing it. He loses so many balls when we are ahead in the game. When you are ahead, you have to take the game slow, allow the opponents to come to you, and then you hit them on the counter. Bruno wants to keep playing them risky balls when you can just calm the tempo down. I don't know, but anyways, let me know in the comments what your thoughts about this game. And then don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.